Alright guys, I just wanted to do this intraday update because I had to show you the results from Apple. I personally was in this trade on the call side, and I'm going to show you the calls in a minute. My calls are up over 400%. So what I'm looking at right here, I'm going to switch to my zoom tool, and remember we went up in Apple and then we sold off a little bit in the markets. Everyone thought that we were going to keep going. Well, I knew that Apple was going to go up because all these analysts kept putting price targets over 350. 350 was the minimum. I've seen 375, 380. That tells you that this 300 number is psychological. And we found in this marketplace that these psychological numbers like Dow 11,000, which we hit last week, all these numbers are really playing out. I mean, even in other stocks I could point out, but this conversation is about Apple. Anyways, we hit this little peak right here around this 295 level back here, I say about 2.5 weeks ago. Then we sold off to about 276. Alright, people that knew it was going to the psychological number were praying for a pullback so they could get in. The institutions, they were just praying. They knew it was going to be the easiest money they ever made. That's the mentality you got to look at in this market. So after we pulled back, the buying just started continuing, and they just started buying this thing up. So it goes from 276, now we're at 310 in a week and a half. 35 points in a week and a half. Now I'm going to show you guys the options. Alright, so now we're looking at the Apple. Let me actually zoom in. We're looking at the Apple 300 October calls. I had some unusual volume down here. You know, let me point this volume out on an options time frame for you. So you see this peak that we put in here around the $6 level. Since then, this entire decline we had, it was on declining volume. Alright, then you see the above average volume seep in, and we just start having ascending volume move up. There you go. So I got in actually around 220, and Apple traded up, and we hit a high today over on this chart. Look at 1050. I not only sold because it was some resistance on the option, I also have levels on my options. I haven't really pointed that out in the past, but look how accurate they are. We opened up, we pulled back to 494, and we presumed up. Even as a day trade, if you guys don't have 25K in your account, then you could day trade, but you could only do it 3 round trips in a 5-day time span. So you could have used one up even. You would have had a risk for 10 contracts about $5,000, but you would have made $5,000 in 1.5 hours. Alright, you're not going to make that kind of money anywhere else. And if you were holding it since 220, 10 contracts, well, just look at the math. 220 to 1050, okay? You just made after commission $8,000 in 2 days. So just wanted to point this out to you. Options are very powerful for people that don't have 25K to day trade. You could use these as an investment tool. So you have other positions on. You could hedge bets with options. And we really got to pay attention to these psychological numbers. You guys have a great day. I'll get the post-market video out to you in a little bit.